Oh wait, my tea is still steeping.
Bruh, I literally just hit record. Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
And I'm Jess.
Jess is still waiting on her tea.
Waiting on my tea.
I have the fan on again, so if you hear a little bit of a whirring in the background, that's what that is. I realized I actually could hear it in the last episode, so whoops.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just like kind of a whirring sound in the background. It's not too bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you can definitely hear like the point where I turn it on.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're back again after another break.
Hiatus.
I don't know if I'd call it a hiatus, but yeah. Last recording day, I just wasn't feeling good. I had a raging headache.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is probably like a mix of staring at a computer at work all day and like the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm doing okay today, thankfully.
I was just gonna ask if you're drinking lots of water.
Probably in the grand scheme of things, no, but I am drinking a lot more than I used to, so.
Okay.
I'm making progress. What are we drinking today?
I have I think it's one of my honey ginger teas.
You think? You didn't look at it before you plopped it in?
Well, I have like lots of different ones, so I don't know which one it is.
Oh, you have a lot of honey ginger ones.
I have a lot of ginger ones. I like the ginger teas.
I see. It's too hot for me again, so I am drinking iced tea.
I had a coffee as soon as I got home from work.
Damn.
Well, it helps with my headaches. The caffeine apparently helps. Yeah, I tried Googling it. Something to do with like opening up the blood vessels, which helps relieve pain.
I thought caffeine was supposed to be
constricting?
Bad. Yeah.
But either or, it's like, I'm not, like, it said like it does help with headaches. Like
What?
It is something.
Everything
That
I've read
happens.
says that caffeine is not good for headaches.
Maybe it's too much caffeine? Because the only cup of coffee I have a day is the one I have after work.
Well, I don't know.
I can see too much caffeine fucking you up.
I am not a medical professional, so I do not know.
All I know is that it helps my headaches. Is it placebo? I don't know, but it helps with my headaches.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a placebo or not. If it helps, it helps.
If it works, it works.
Yep. All right. Where did we leave off our characters, Jess? Today we're doing Arya, Bran, and Jon.
Arya, Bran, and Jon.
Wait, are we? Hang on.
I think so.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So with Arya, the Hound is challenged to trial by combat by Lord Beric and wins his innocence and freedom by killing him. And then Thoros just brings Lord Beric back to life. Round 6.
Damn.
Bran is told a tale about the Crannog man in Harrenhal by Mira, which is actually a tale about his father and uncles and aunt.
Ooh.
And I guess Mira's father. And the other one, the boy.
Jojen.
Mira and Jojen's papa.
And the other one.
And what's his face? Jon and the wildlings climb to the top of the wall, and Ygritte reveals that she and other wildlings released a bunch of shades whilst looking for the Horn of Winter.
Yep.
I don't quite know what they released into Westeros, but they released something.
Yeah.
And lots of them.
That's like right where the chapter ended, so there was no explanation as to what that meant.
Just Jon just being like, okay, cool. That's it. Now let me put honey in my tea.
Okay.
BRB. Voila.
Hola.
Ready for some Arya?
I am indeed.
Arya and Gendry watch as their group of what are they called again? What's their name? The Brotherhood?
Oh.
The
Shit, I don't know.
Robin's Merry Men? I mean, isn't that what they're doing? Stealing and then giving it to the needy? I feel like
essentially? Are they giving to the needy?
They're giving to the people who are
I feel like they're
like,
just
most destroyed by the war. Like the victims of the Lannisters and the Starks. Like they help by giving them sheep, maybe giving them some coin.
Really? I thought they were just protecting them from like
That too.
Gregor or something.
Like I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not sure what this chapter says. But I remember reading that they gave the huntsman all the gold that they took from the hound, so that he can help rebuild.
Okay,
his
yeah,
village.
that's definitely some Robin Hood shit.
Maybe it was like justice in their way. Like the Lannisters destroyed everything you have. You can take this guy's gold, even though he is innocent, according to the Lord of Light. Just to get him to like stop trying to kill him.
I'm confused. I don't know who you're talking about anymore.
Never mind. Or like I'm not describing it very well. My thoughts are not very formative. Is that a word? I don't know.
Formative.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So Arya and Gendry watch as the merry men take out the mummers hiding in a sept. They set the sept on fire and they kill the mummers as they come running out. Soon the battle is over and most of the brave companions. Those are the mummers, right? Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. The brave
Yeah,
companions.
you're right.
It's the proper name for the mummers, like the fancy.
Because they don't like to
professional
be
name.
called the mummers.
Yeah, what they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Soon the battle's over and most of the mummers are dead. Some surrender and a couple of Dothraki manage to escape, which Lord Beric allows so that word gets back to Harrenhal. A few of their members enter the set in search of captives and they bring out 8 Brown brothers. I'm guessing monks? Is that what they call them? Brown brothers?
Oh.
Including a Septon who was hiding amongst the brothers.
Right.
The Septon wails, crying that he has sinned, and begs for forgiveness. Apparently, this Septon was traveling with the mummers, and he's a freaking pedophile. And he, really likes little boys. And he's been doing God knows what and killing them.
What?
With the mummers. Yep, whenever the mummers go after villages, he hunts down the boys. And he takes them. This fucking Septon.
Oh my god. And doesn't he also, blame it on something weird? Like, he's basically passing on the blame.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he blames it on his weakness. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read this chapter.
Yeah, true.
Something about being weak and pitiful.
Yeah. Oh. He says, I literally just opened the book and found the right page.
Nice! It was meant to happen.
It was meant to be. Okay, so they find this out when they're doing trials of the brave companions and various outlaws. So a few of them speak of the boys that Septon Ut had carried off. The Septon wept and prayed through it all. I am a weak reed, he told Lord Beric. I prayed to the warrior for strength, but the gods made me weak. Have mercy on my weakness. The boys, the sweet boys. I never mean to hurt them. Yeah, so he basically blames it on the gods for making him weak.
It's gross. It's freaking gross.
Yeah.
And, ugh. Just typical of abusers to blame it on
Blame
the
it
god.
on anything but themselves. Honestly.
Doesn't want to take responsibility.
I'm surprised he didn't blame it on the boys themselves.
They were seducing him. Apparently, he is so ashamed that he has even had the mummers give him lashings as punishment while he's traveled with them.
What?
Well, like, he's so guilt-ridden by what he does to these boys that he gets them to beat him as they travel.
This is so fucking weird.
Yep. Lord Beric commands trials for their captives, and soon they're all naked, hanging from a tree. Dead.
Good.
Good riddance.
Good.
The Brown brothers tell them of how the monster came and started killing them one by one. So I'm guessing that's Sir Gregor. We don't really know.
The monster?
But the way they describe this man as a monster, I'm guessing it was Sir Gregor.
Yeah, who else would you describe as a monster?
Yeah, and they started killing them one by one, insistent that they were hiding gold and demanding to be told where. There used to be 40 of them, but only 8 are left. One of them shamefully confesses that he was the one who told, I'm guessing, Sir Gregor, where the gold was, when it was his turn to die. And Thoros is like, there is no shame in that. Like, his life is worth more than the gold that they were hiding.
Right. Yeah. Why lie about it?
Yeah.
Let me die to protect this gold that's just gonna sit there and not do anything?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's fair.
Later, they shelter at a brew house. And Arya notices that Lord Beric never eats or sleeps, so she never, sees him eat or sleep. Lord Beric seems to notice her stares and asks if he frightens her. Arya tells him she's still confused on how he survived the Hound during the little battle they had. Lord Beric tells her that Thoros has been bringing him back from the dead, and Thoros corrects him. It's like, actually, it's Lord Blight, not me. And that he's been brought back 6 times now.
Damn.
And then he shows her his death scars.
This part was awesome. I loved learning about all the times he died. It's so cool.
Oh my god. It's pretty horrific, actually.
Yeah,
He must be pretty fucked looking. There is a spot above his left ear where his temple is caved in, and he was struck by a mace by Sir Burton Craighall. So, I guess his face or his skull must be pretty fucked looking, because it's described as being caved in still.
It's still caved in?
Yeah, a spot above his left ear where his temple is caved in. It's still there.
What?
What?
Earth?
The black ring around his neck is the result of a hanging. I remember speculating that it was a beheading, but nope, it's a hanging.
Okay, that's what I had thought originally.
His missing eye is from when the mountain shoved a dirk through his visor. Dirk, I think, is a dagger.
Yeah.
Or a type of dagger?
Yeah.
I don't know where all these fancy names come from.
They're just well, I don't actually know, but
Is it
I'm
a
guessing a lot of the
smaller,
time it's just archaic
pokier?
language.
Probably.
So it probably is just a dagger or... You know what? Let me look it up. Dirk. A short dagger of a kind formerly carried by Scottish Highlanders.
Okay.
A long-bladed thrusting dagger.
Ooh.
Oh.
Looks like I only had... What?
What is the difference between a dirk and a dagger?
Oh, nice.
A dirk is a long Scottish dagger with a straight blade, while a dagger is a stabbing weapon. Okay, so it sounds like all dirks are daggers, but not all daggers are dirks.
Okay.
So it's just a type of dagger.
Sure. Sorry, I think I only had 3 of his deaths written down.
Okay.
Here. He died 6 times, so I know there's one where he had a lance through his chest. And there's the one with the hound. And that's missing one more death. Which I do not recall.
Well, we know... Wait, that's just 4, right?
That was 5.
Wait, what?
When he was struck by mace,
In the head.
he was hung.
Yeah.
He had his eye stabbed through. He was
Oh, did you
stabbed
mention that
by a
already?
lance. Yeah,
Oh, my bad. Missed that.
stabbed by a lance, and then what the hound did to him, cutting through his shoulder into his chest. That's
Right.
5. I don't remember what the 6th one is.
Me neither.
Maybe it was the hound again. No, not the hound. The mountain. I think Sir Gregor killed him a couple of times.
Oh, interesting. That could be it.
Oh well. Let's continue. Lord Beric confesses that he has trouble remembering his life before his first death, and even asks Thoros if he is his mother. Not seriously, but to get the point across.
Oh.
It's actually pretty sad. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
He's kind of zombified.
It's like he's losing a bit of himself every time he dies, maybe.
Each time he comes back, it's less Beric.
I think maybe you bring this up later, but I think he even says at one point, like, 6 is too many, and he's, like, complaining to Thoros.
He's not pleased with being brought back. He doesn't want to be brought back anymore.
I almost think that he might actually have a death wish at this point, and maybe that's why he's putting himself in these situations, because he wants it to be the last time every time.
Yeah, I think so too.
That is sad.
He's not happy. Arya asks if he can bring a man back without a head, clearly asking about her father. Thoros explains that he has no magic, that he only works as the Lord of Light's instrument, and it's up to R'hllor who comes back and who doesn't. Arya begins to tear up, understanding that Thoros is basically telling her no.
But also, isn't Ned just a pile of bones now? Like, did they not
I think so.
burn
maybe
him or something?
all they know, they sent his body back to Winterfell, but we don't know what happened to
Oh,
it.
I thought it was
That's
just his
just-
bones.
I don't know if it. I don't remember if it was bones. I know the show it's his bones, but I don't remember
Yeah, you're right.
the book.
It could be.
Maybe inside his bones. I don't know.
Hmm.
So I know Catelyn often thinks about Ned's body and like what happened to it and like did it make it to Winterfell? I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Arya asks what will happen if Robb won't ransom for her. Lord Beric asks why would she think that, and Arya explains that she's not a very good daughter, and that she's always gotten into trouble, and maybe they don't want her back.
Oh,
Oh man.
that's like the first time that she really opens up about that kind of thing, I feel like.
Yeah, and I don't think she's ever like talked to others about how she felt like an outcast in her family.
Yeah. Because she does not fit
Oh,
societal expectations of what a
Yeah.
lady should be.
It's pretty sad. It's a young girl to be like, I don't. What if they don't want me? Talking about her mom.
Yeah. Aw. And then she thinks about how, like, Sansa was always the perfect daughter.
Yeah, like they'll pay for Sansa. They won't pay for me. Aw, of course they will.
Aw.
Thoros tries to assure her that they will, but Arya insists. What if? But what if they won't? So Lord Beric tells her that he would send her to Lady Smallwood then, or even his own castle, but promises her that he is certain that her mother and brother will pay for her. They sit for a bit watching the rain when one of the men starts complaining that his horse lost a shoe, and what a pain it is when Gendry volunteers to blacksmith for them. Lord Beric warns him that they cannot pay him and that it'll be better for him to serve a lord. But Gendry insists that he likes their cause and he wants to be one of them. Lord Beric accepts this and he knights Gendry right then and there.
Damn.
They
I did
hear
not know
laughing.
that Gendry was a knight.
Right?
Sir
Like, where
Gendry.
did this come from?
Right?
He's a knight of the Merry Men, apparently.
Yeah.
They hear laughing, and they turn to see the Hound is watching them. They pull their weapons out and tell him to leave, or they will kill him. But the Hound wants his gold back. When they let him go, they took all of his gold and they gave the gold to the huntsman to help restart his farm.
Uh,
Lord Beric reminds the Hound that they gave him an IOU note, but Sandor says that he used it as wipe his ass, demands his gold again. He doesn't want his useless IOU note, he wants his gold.
yeah.
So they tell the Hound that they gave the gold away. The Hound tells them that they are no better than common thieves, looks each one in the eyes as if committing their faces to memory, and then he leaves.
Ooh.
Oh, it's intimidating. Thoros says to them that the Hound has lost his master in kennel, and no one else is like to take him in. So he speculated if the gold was all he had left. And then another guy's like, oh fuck, he's gonna kill us in our sleep for sure. And Lord Beric disagrees. He says the Hound is not the sort to murder people in their sleep. He gives instructions to keep an eye out for him.
How would he know what the type of murderer that the Hound is?
I have no idea. I wonder if he can see that he's not as bloodthirsty as, like, his brother. Like, he seems to, like, just want to do his own thing. Just leave him alone. He seems chill.
Yeah, so chill.
You know,
Stomp it
maybe-
into their camp like, give me my money.
Give it back, my girl!
Yo, talk my coin.
Well, there are thieves. They did steal.
Yeah. I mean, it's valid. He wants his money back.
Mm-hmm.
He was put on trial just out of the blue.
He proved his innocence
Proved his
by
innocence.
killing Beric.
Uh-huh.
And they still took his gold and gave him an IOU note. Fuck
Hey, yeah, you're right. This is bullshit.
that. I'm Team Hound right now. Give back his gold.
True.
Bitches. Okay. That night, it seems almost everyone had a hard time sleeping, knowing that the Hound is out there. Arya takes out her coin and she says her prayer, which is Sir Gregor, Dunsen, Oliver, Raph the Sweetling, Tickler, the Hound, Sir Ilyn, Sir Meryn, King Joffrey, Queen Cersei. And she realizes that she only knows the faces of the Mountain, the Hound, Joffrey, and Cersei. And she cannot picture the others anymore.
Yeah, she didn't know them for long.
No. They're gone from memory. Yet she hates them enough to be in her nightly prayer.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, some of them prepare to leave with Arya. And Gendry comes to her and apologizes for choosing to stay with them. But she responds angrily, saying, "What should I care if you choose to become an outlaw and get hanged?" And then they set off.
Yeah.
She seems to be taking it personally.
Yeah. Well, he seems to understand that their relationship with each other is like it's more than nothing. Like why else would he apologize to her?
Yeah.
If it
There's
didn't matter.
still like some like respect there. Like he does care about her.
They are
But
companions.
fortunately,
They're buddies.
yeah. She seems to be a bit young yet to understand these things. Too immature.
Yeah, well, he's like been the
She's-
only consistent one
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, so
Yeah. Like since King's Landing. It's been a long freaking time.
yeah, she doesn't want to
Like-
give that up, and she feels betrayed.
Been at least a year. Where they've been on the run or together.
I would feel betrayed.
Wasn't it like 2 years? Yeah, I guess so. But then like she's a lady and who is he? No one. He wants to find his own family. So I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's trying to find his forever home.
With these guys, like,
Or
good
the
choice,
Merman.
Gendry.
Yeah, they seem chill so far.
Yeah, but he also has the choice of going with Arya, right? And then he could work in, like, River Run.
Mm-hmm.
But I think being around High Lords makes him uncomfortable.
Probably. Growing up in Flea Bottom, I don't think he's used to that.
Yeah, and
Or cares for it.
And there's that whole thing about him being, I don't know, he's very touchy and, like, weird about Arya being a lady.
Yeah, he gets weirdly, like, offended at the amount of highborn people around him sometimes.
Yeah.
He has a thing about highborns. Doesn't want to be around them.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that the chapter?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, that was chapter 39. I was surprised that, like, Thoros' sword also lights on fire when he fights. I thought that was a Beric exclusive.
Oh, it does. I know that Thoros used use his burning flame during a tourneys back when he lived in King's Landing.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah, that was Thoros.
Oh. Wasn't there...
Back
Wasn't someone always saying it was, like, more show than anything
Yeah,
else?
because the sword would be completely destroyed after, like, every time he'd use it, because the flames, steel's not meant to be burnt, it's gonna melt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it scared the ponies, or the horses.
The flames?
Yeah. If they're charging and then the horse sees a big flaming thing come down and they're like, back! Wait!
Wait, weren't these melee battles?
Yeah, it would be a melee battle and use a sword.
Yeah, I don't think it was jousting with a
No.
sword.
Whoa.
You'd be so screwed.
That would be crazy. Yeah. I don't think he was the best, but he was the most memorable, I guess, with his flaming sword.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we're about halfway through the episode already. We have to get through both Bran and Jon because their chapters, I feel like, need to be read together.
Ooh.
So let's get started on Bran. You know why, right?
I haven't read it in a while.
Oh, okay. Alright. Chapter 40 is Bran. Bran and the gang have reached the Gift, which is a stretch of land south of the Wall. Jojen asks Bran who holds this land, and he explains it's the Night's Watch who does. They are in the New Gift, and north of that is Brandon's Gift. Brandon the Builder gave the Watch 25 leagues of land just south of the Wall for their sustenance and support, and so it's known as Brandon's Gift. And then thousands of years later, Queen Alysanne visited the Wall on her dragon Silverwing, and she thought the Watch was so brave that she doubled the size of their lands to 50 leagues, and that's the New Gift, where Bran and Jojen and Mira are now. It's basically all grasslands, and Mira feels very exposed. They've made it to a crumbling village that no one has lived in for many years. It's good land, so Jojen wonders why everyone left, and Bran explains it's because they're afraid of wildlings. The wildlings would come over the wall or through the mountains and raid and steal and carry off women. The group needs shelter. Jojen says a storm is coming, so Bran suggests the Holdfast, which is a tower out in the middle of a lake. Mira points out that they have no boat, but Bran says there's a hidden causeway under the water, so they could walk. The Reeds wonder how he knows, and he explains Old Nan told him. Also, fun fact, the Holdfast has a golden crown. Its crenellations are painted gold to commemorate the night Queen Alysanne stayed there. Mira finds the foot of the causeway, and they start to slowly make their way across the lake. The causeway is not straight, so Mira has to poke at it with her frog spear and lead them across that way. So, I guess a causeway is just like a walkway that's under the water?
Or is it through the water, like little floaties?
I just looked up the definition. It's a raised road or track across low or wet ground.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's not raised if it's hidden, right? It would have to be under the water?
Maybe it's hidden by grass. Tall reeds.
Oh, no, it's not, because at one point when they're walking, they're like chest deep in water.
Oh! So it is underwater.
Yeah.
I'm horrified.
So yeah, they make their way across. On the island, Mira shoves the old door open. They're in a strong room with 2 exits, but they are both behind locked gates. Bran notices a grate overhead, a murder hole where the defenders of the holdfast could once pour boiling oil down on their enemies. Now, that would be an awful way to die.
Ooh, a murder hole. That would. Boiling oil? Not nice.
Yeah. They were creative back in the day. Bran, who is on Hodor's back, reaches up and grabs the bars, and they come crashing down on top of him. Hodor boosts up Meera and Jojen, and they pull up Bran, and then they have to direct Hodor to make a pile of rocks that he can stand on to pull himself up into the murder hole.
Ooh, it must be pretty big if even Hodor can fit through. I thought them murder holes were like a little bit smaller.
It's probably wide enough that it could, like, coat a whole person with the oil, or maybe even a couple of people, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Because if it's just, like, a small trickle of oil that just, like, lands on someone's arm, they're just gonna be like, ow, and slap it off, right?
If it's boiling, it's gonna do more than ow. That's like bacon grease level oil. Ow.
Okay, true. But at the same time, it needs to be enough to incapacitate them, not just injure them.
I guess. I just think that boiling oil, even a little bit on your arm, is enough to make someone stop and be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but not if they're wearing full armor, right?
I guess not. True that.
Anyway, that's my made-up explanation as to why the murder hole is so big.
Gotta hit multiple people.
Yeah. Gotta coat them entirely. Fuck their shit up. Anyway. Up in the murder hole, they're now in a maze of small cells. But Meera finds stairs, and they make their way up to the 5th story, which is a big round chamber with balconies and a privy chamber above a sewer chute that drops straight down into the lake.
Yucky!
They get up to the roof. They can see a long ways from up here, and Meera feels like a giant on top of the world. Bran was hoping they could see the wall, but unfortunately it's still nowhere in sight. How can they not see the wall yet?
Oh my god. I wonder if it's just a cloudy day.
I don't
or foggy with the storm.
You'd think they'd be able to see it by now.
Yeah, like, aren't they close enough yet?
They're like less than 50 leagues.
Less than 50 leagues? How far is that?
A league?
Wait, let me check out how many leagues are. How many kilometers are in a league?
One nautical league is 5.5 kilometers.
And how many leagues? 50?
They're less than 50, so let's just say 45, because they're already partway into the new gift, right? So that's 250 kilometers. Yeah,
I can see it being pretty far.
I guess with like the curve of the Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alright. Bran asks Jojen what they're going to do when they reach the wall. Jojen thinks one of the empty castles may give them their way through. Bran says his uncle told him the gates are sealed with ice and stone when a castle is abandoned. Meera says then they'll simply have to open them again. Yeah, good luck. Bran thinks that's a bad idea. Things could come through that shouldn't. He wants to go to Castle Black and tell the Lord Commander to let them pass. Jojen says they must avoid Castle Black. There are hundreds of men there. They may be sworn members of the Night's Watch, but one man willing to forswear himself would be enough to sell Bran's secret to the Iron Men or the Bolton Bastard, and they can't be certain the Watch would let them pass anyway. Yeah, I doubt the Lord Commander would be like, oh yeah, just head on through.
Right.
For no reason.
One of them is like being searched for actively.
Yeah, and like what? I'm sure he'd want like a reason, and what are they gonna say? What reason are they gonna give? Oh, you know, Bran wants to just head up there and become the three-eyed raven. Like the fuck?
Exactly.
Bran tries to argue that his father was a friend of the Watch, and his uncle is First Ranger, and Jon is there too. Bran knows that his uncle went missing, but he thinks Benjen must have made it back by now. Jojen then sees a rider in the distance. Meera isn't too concerned, as it seems like he's not in a hurry and is making his way to the village. Bran is worried about Summer, whom they left near the village, but Meera says it's just one man on a tired horse. Like, what's it gonna do against a direwolf?
Mm-hmm.
It starts to rain, so they retreat to the floor below. Mira continues to watch the man and notes that he's taken shelter in the ruins of the inn and is starting a fire. I think she's peering through one of those, like, arrow kind of holes.
Okay.
In the wall. Bran wants a fire, but Jojen says that could reveal their location. Mira argues there's no one to see, but Jojen is like, hello, there's a dude over there. One person is enough to betray Bran to his enemies. Jojen is such a fucking stick in the mud, man. Literally. He's a reed. Get it?
Good one.
Thanks. That was a happy accident. They divide up some leftover duck Mira caught the day before, and Bran tells a story.
Delicious.
What?
Delicious!
Oh.
Even the finer things in life.
You gotta enjoy the little things. And Bran tells the story of another Brandon Stark, Brandon the Shipwright, who had sailed off beyond the Sunset Sea. Which isn't on the map, but I believe it's west of Westeros. Is that right?
No idea. The Sunset Sea?
Yeah.
It could be west of Westeros. Doesn't sound like east.
Yeah, because east would be Essos, and if he's sailing off beyond the Sunset Sea, I don't know. I imagine he's going west because they, like, later on in the show, they talk about how, like, no one goes west or whatever. So that would be why it's significant.
And I think the ocean between Westeros and Essos is called the Narrow Sea.
Yeah, that's right. Thunder and lightning comes that night, and Hodor gets really scared. He shouts whenever the thunder claps, and at one point snatches up his sword. But he just gives it to Mira when she asks for it. Aw, good old Hodor.
Cute.
Jojen then notices more men in the village. Armed men. He saw them when the lightning flashed, and there are too many to count. Mira asks if they were mounted, and he says no. Bran is worried they may come to the holdfast for shelter, and he wants Mira to go down and bar the door, but Mira says she couldn't even close it. The wood is too warped. She doesn't think they could get past the iron gates, though. Bran thinks they could with their weapons, or they could climb up the murder hole, just like they did. There's more thunder, and Hodor howls loudly, so everyone freaks out and hisses at him to be quiet, but he won't. Bran then reaches out toward Hodor and screams at him to be quiet. Reaching, and then Hodor staggers, shuts his mouth, and sinks to the floor. When the thunder booms again, he doesn't react at all. Mira, stares around, and she's like, what the fuck did you just do? Bran says he doesn't know, but he does know he reached out to Hodor the way he does for Summer. He had been Hodor for a heartbeat, and it scares him. Ooh, he controlled Hodor? What the shit?
He's getting pretty strong.
Jojen thinks a man across the lake pointed to the tower. Bran tries to be brave and says they're probably Umbers or Knots or Flints, or maybe even Brothers of the Night's Watch. He asks if they were wearing black cloaks, but Jojen's like, all cloaks are black at night, dumbass.
Sassy pants.
He's not actually that sassy, I'm sassing it up. Mira says they would be mounted if they were brothers, but Bran says it doesn't matter anyway. They won't know about the causeway. Mira is delighted and relieved. She forgot all about the causeway. There's no way they can make their way across at night in the rain. Jojen says the night will end, though, then points out the men are feeding the fire the first man created. Bran feels Summer's fear suddenly, and then bam, he's in Summer's mind. He's in the rain, smelling and hearing the men in the village. A man with a stick blunders by. A skin pulled up over his head. Is that just a hood? Like the hood of his cloak? What is a skin pulled up over his head? Like an
either
animal
that or
skin?
a hat. Yeah.
Oh.
But it could either be a hood or a hat. That's what they wore.
Oh, because
animal skins.
we're in Summer's mind, so the stick is obviously a sword.
Hmm.
And the skin has to be the cloak, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in Summer's mind.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
Duh. I remember thinking, like, why is the man carrying a stick? That's weird. But it's a sword. Duh. Okay. Summer goes wide around him and stops beneath an apple tree. He can hear the men talking and the sharp stench of fear. Ooh, what is happening there?
Drama going on amongst these people.
Yeah, something's pretty sus. Something's sus. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's really not much to say about this chapter. It was cool learning about, like, the history of Queen Alysanne and her dragon Silverwing.
Yeah. I like learning about their history a little bit.
Yeah, and, like, why things are named certain things, and, like, the details of the thing having a golden crown, the holdfast, for her, as, like, a homage to her. Just cool little details like that really bring the world to life.
It's fun.
Indeed. Alright, so, chapter 41 is Jon. Let's just roll right into it.
Just do it. You pump it out.
Just fucking do it, dude.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's a dead meme.
That was a while ago. Makes me feel old because I was grown when it happened. Okay. The Wildling gang walks past a round tower, and Ygritte excitedly asks Jon if a king lives there. Jon explains that it's just a watchtower, not a castle, and tells her that Winterfell has towers 3 times that size. And in Old Town, there is a tower taller than the wall.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Shit.
Where the maesters learn.
Yeah.
I believe. It's huge.
Dang.
Ygritte does not appear to believe him and cannot fathom people being able to build so high. One of those people who believe aliens made the pyramids. Jon wishes that he can take her to Winterfell and show her a true castle, but it belongs to his brother now, and Jon is now a turncloak, so there's no way he can go back with his head held high. Ygritte asks him if he would like to live in that tower with her afterwards. He tells her that the land doesn't belong to them, which pisses her off, and they have an argument. And Jon is reminded that she is a wildling through and through.
Oh, you didn't write down their argument? I thought it was interesting.
Ygritte basically ends the argument by telling him that men cannot own land any more than they can own sea and sky, and that Mance will show them all the way. Was there anything else with their argument that you liked?
I remember she says something about, like, the land being stolen. Or Jon does? Hang on, let me find it really quick. I thought it was revealing about how different their characters are.
Yeah.
And also kind of, like, echoes some stuff that happens in real life.
Oh, yeah.
So let me try and find this real quick. Oh, yeah. So Jon says basically they can't live there because the land belongs to the Watch. And she's like, well, no one lives here. And he's like, because your raiders drove them off. And then she's like, they were cowards then. If they wanted the land, they should have stayed and fought for it. And Jon tries to defend them, saying, like, maybe they were tired of fighting and barring their doors every night and wondering if, you know, their wives would be gone the next day or their harvest stolen. Then she tells him, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Daughters are taken, not wives. And she says, you're the ones who steal. You took the whole world and built the wall to keep the free folk out. And I was like, oh shit, she has a point.
Shots fired.
And then Jon's just like, did we? How did that happen? So he's like really not taking her seriously at all. And he's just thinking that she's like so wild and whatever. But it's like she she has a point here, man.
Yep, she does.
Yeah, and she says the gods made the earth for all men to share. And basically, only when the kings come with their crowns and steel swords, they claim it was all theirs. My trees, my apples, my stream, my fish. You call us thieves, but at least a thief has to be brave and clever and quick. A kneeler only has to kneel.
Got him.
Got him!
It just shows like the completely different cultures.
Oh, yeah.
We have.
But I also thought it was like the idea of stealing land when it's not yours to begin with and like saying it's yours, and then it just echoes like what I guess some recent topics that have come up lately here in Canada about like indigenous peoples and the tragedies that they experienced during colonialism. Not to speak like it's all in the past, because it's not. Just want to make that point.
So. I mean, the last school closed in 1997, I believe.
No, but I just mean there's still injustices that are happening to this day against indigenous people. So I don't want to act like it doesn't happen anymore.
Like, the Highway of Tears is the biggest one. The RCMP don't really take that seriously. Any of that seriously. Unless it's
because I think of the fact that people are like, oh, this was like so long ago, like this doesn't happen anymore, like we don't need to worry about it.
I hate that mindset.
Yeah,
it's happening right now.
It's so problematic.
Eyes, people,
open your eyes.
Open your eyes.
But yeah, I don't want to say too much about this because I'm very uneducated, but
same.
But I just thought, like, the idea of stealing land kind of, it made me think about that.
Kind of reminded me of, like, I think it was an article Johnny showed me or something in Colorado of a man getting charged by the government for collecting rainwater on his property, because the rainwater belongs to the government or the city.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
That can't be real. Dude, that sounds like something that would be in like a Simpsons episode.
Right? Man.
Like, I picture Mr. Burns like showing up and being like, that's my water. That is outrageous.
Oh my god, there was a man in Oregon who was sentenced to 30 days in jail for collecting rainwater, and he had over $1,500 in fines.
Dude, are we going backwards ever since 2020 happened? Like, what the fuck? Why are we regressing? There's like all the fucking pro-life shit that's happening in America as well. Like, what the fuck year are we living in? Where a fucking woman can't go and get an abortion even if her life is in danger.
Life only matters when the baby's in the womb. Once it's out, they're on their own.
And freaking
no one cares.
Women are being forced to have contraception that they don't want, and they have no control over their own fucking money. I'm talking about Britney Spears.
Oh, man, that makes me mad. That makes me so mad.
Dude, all of it's fucked up, but when I heard the shit about her being forced to keep the IUD...
Oh, man, I am furious.
That makes me want to scream and cry and throw up all at the same time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's sick. In this day and age?
Right? That's what I mean. Like, what year is this?
That judge who keeps voting, like, for her, like, what do you call them? Captors? That needs to be freaking replaced.
Essentially.
It needs to be freaking... Man, I hate it when judges are, like, fucked like that. Like, get them out of here. People should be voting in judges.
Right?
And voting them out when they're not doing their freaking job.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over. There was the most recent thing, but that was not taking her testimony into account. So, there's still, like, a chance that things might change, but I mean, it's hard to feel like things are promising because everything's just so fucked.
They're not.
Dude, have you seen...
Not promising.
I know we're supposed to be talking about Jon's chapter right now, but we're on a roll, so... Have you seen Inside by Burnham? His newest Netflix special?
I think I've heard of it.
I'm sure you've heard of it. People everywhere are talking about it.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. Do you know who Burnham is? Have you seen his stuff before?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I've shown him to you before, I think. He does stand-up, but he, like, mixes in music, and I probably showed you, like, his...
Okay. Is he blonde? Or
yeah. He's, like,
hair?
tall and gangly and blonde, and he, like, sings.
Okay. I definitely remember him.
Yeah, I definitely have shown him to you before.
Yeah, it was you.
Yeah. But yeah, his newest special, Inside, came out early last month, I think.
Okay, I think that's the COVID one he had.
Yeah, he made it entirely by himself during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, produced it himself, he edited it himself, he did everything by himself. Which is, yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's just so incredibly insightful and honest while also being funny, but also, like, really raw and emotional, and it's just like, damn, it's a roller coaster ride that you have to watch it.
I think, like, good Johnny likes funny shit.
Do it, dude. It's so, like, but there's this, the reason I thought about him is because there's this one bit with a sock that he does. That's him and Socko. That's just very relevant, I think, to what we're talking about here with the whole oppression kind of stuff. But anyway, to you, watch Inside, and we'll talk about it next time. And to anyone who's listening who hasn't seen Inside, go watch it. Burnham is amazing, and he's my favorite stand-up comedian. And no one compares to him at all for me. Like, no stand-up comedian even comes close.
Cool.
But we'll talk about it more when you watch it.
Okay.
You're a bit late to the game, though. But I feel like we're always late to the game on this podcast, so.
Usually. I'm not hip with the kids anymore.
Alright, continue. Please, with Jon. We're back.
Jon whispers to her that Mance cannot win this war, and when he dies, so will the rest of them. Ygritte looks furious, and she tells him, "You too. You are one of us. Like you're gonna die too."
Yeah, he's still not thinking of himself as one of them.
Yeah, and she's recognizing that he's not thinking that too. She's pissing her off.
Yeah.
And she pushes him against a tree and kisses him. I think they make out a little bit.
Oh shit.
When she steps away from him, she tells him, "You're mine and I'm yours, and if we die, we die." Every night, Jon would see the fence watching him closely, so he hasn't been able to escape to warn the Night's Watch, which is what he wants to do. Just itching to freaking run. Castle Black has no defenses, and the Lord Commander took 200 rangers north, leaving behind the stewards and the builders. No one can fight in this group. If the Magnar reached the castle, it would be a bloodbath. They would all be butchered in their beds before they even knew they're under attack.
Yikes.
And Jon also worries for Ygritte. He cannot take her with him, but leaving her behind would surely be a death sentence for her. Jon knows that he will betray the wildlings, and that would mean their death. And, like, her death too, for just being with him.
Ooh. Yeah, because she, like, vouched for him multiple times.
Yeah. Every day is harder and harder for him because he's becoming more familiar with the wildlings, and they're forming relationships with him. Not the Thenns, the other ones. They're with them. The Thenns don't care for Jon.
Right.
As they push forward, one of the wildlings can tell that a storm is coming. Apparently, his mama is a woods witch, so they all trust him to read the weather. And so they head to a nearby village to shelter. By nightfall, the storm has come, and they arrive at the vacant village. Many of the buildings have fallen apart, and the wildlings split up to search the buildings, and he hears a shout. Ahead, he sees the glimmer of a fire and the remains of an inn. The wildlings return to report that it's just an old man with a horse.
Oh, shit.
The Thens continue searching the village while the rest of the wildlings cram into the remains of the inn to warm by the fire that the old man had going.
Well, this all seems familiar.
Jon walks away and he finds a dry spot by the lake to sit. Ygritte joins him and he tells her to keep an eye on the top of the tower when the lightning strikes again, and to tell him what she sees. Apparently, the wildlings had heard shouting coming from this tower, so there's like some speculation going around that it's haunted.
But we know who it was.
There's a massive clap of thunder and lightning, and Ygritte says that the stones on top are yellow. And then Jon explains the story behind the tower called the Queen's Crown.
Oh, shit.
That the old King Jaehaerys came to Winterfell with his queen Elisane and 6 fucking dragons.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what is this? Like showing off his cock or something?
Just flinging his massive wiener around.
Why do you need all 6?
Was it just the 2 of them who came, or did he have like some more homies who were riding the other dragons?
Maybe there was more homies, because that seems excessive.
I'm sure he had more homies. He didn't just bring dragons with no riders. I doubt it.
True. Alicent grew bored and took her dragon Silverring to the wall. This village was one of the places she stopped at, and she spent the night in the tower. Afterwards, the small folk painted the stones gold to look like her crown. Sounds like a familiar story.
That holdfast seems familiar.
One of the Thens shouts his name and says the Magnar wants him. He finds the Magnar in the inn with the old man, and he's ordered to kill the old man. The captive just glares at Jon, and for some reason it seems that his silence has made it more difficult for Jon to kill him. Ygritte urges him, but Jon can't do it, and he tells them no. The Magnar calls him a crow, and Ygritte his crow wife.
Ooh.
Ygritte flips, screaming that she is no crow wife, and she slits the old man's throat before screaming at Jon that he knows nothing, as usual.
Damn.
The Magnar shouts orders at his Thens in the old tongue, and then another massive lightning strike hits, and out of nowhere, a direwolf jumps out of the shadows and starts ripping apart the wildlings.
Oh, hell yeah!
Jon thinks it's ghosts at first, then he sees that the wolf is gray, and briefly wonders if it's Greywind before thinking, no, he's with Robb. But he stops speculating because he sees his chance. It's now or never, and he attacks the wildlings as well, cutting them down alongside the wolf.
Oh, damn.
He sees a Then trying to control the old man's horse, and he cuts him down. And then he is on top of the horse, galloping away. Hours later, he finally stops for a breather, and he notices an ache in his right thigh. Looking down, he sees an arrow buried deep in there. He dismounts, gathers all of his strength, and he pushes it through because it's bark.
Oh my god.
Pull it out.
Oh god.
See him screaming.
That is insane.
Afterwards, he just lays on the ground for a while before he realizes that if he does not get up, he's going to bleed to death. So he binds his wound, and he struggles back on the horse. He looks at the arrow, and he wonders if it was Ygritte's. He's thankful that the arrow got him and not the horse, or he'd be dead. And then he rides back to Castle Black.
Well, shit. That was 0 to 100.
Yup.
So, oh my god, him and Bran were so close.
They're right there.
They're literally right there.
was freaking Summer helping you out, bro. You don't recognize Summer? No, I guess not.
He hasn't seen Summer in forever.
No.
The last time we saw Summer was a puppy.
I think last time we saw Summer would be this last time we saw Greywind, too. Maybe he just remembers Greywind more because he hung out with Rob more than he hung out with Bran.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Bran was in his room most of the time, healing.
There's that part where, in Bran's chapter, Jojen, like, thinks he sees someone pointing at the tower. And I think that's probably Jon that he sees when he's, like, talking about the tower.
I wonder about that, too, because he was by the lake, right?
Yeah, with Ygritte.
Yeah, and he was, like, pointing out, there's somebody, like, pointing at us.
Yeah. That's
My
when he's,
God.
like, pointing at the crenellations, like, see that they're gold or whatever?
Uh-huh. Dude, that was Jon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So close. It's so fun.
Yep. And the shout was obviously Hodor screaming about the thunder.
The haunted cries.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's the reason why I thought we should read them back to back.
Yeah. Well, it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Because these are, even in the show, they were co-aligned like this.
Oh, yeah? I don't remember it at all.
Oh. You start off with Bran, and then it ends with Jon. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, that was super neat to see. That's like the closest that any two characters have gotten. Jaime and Arya got pretty damn close once, I think, but...
They did. Yeah.
But this
Jaime
is
and,
literally at the
Bran.
exact same time.
Yup. This is extremely close.
Mm-hmm. So, that's going to be the end of this episode. Before we say goodbye, a quick shout out to our patrons for again being awesome loyal patrons for another month.
Thank you so much.
That's Tobias, Jake, and Eric.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us money. We'll one day be able to buy something with it. Hopefully a new microphone or something cool for the podcast.
Thank you so much for your support.
Indeed. And thank you, listeners, for listening. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of this episode, and he's a really cool guy and makes dope stuff, so check him out. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, such as behind-the-scenes content, outtakes, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he hates. So you will be getting something in return for your contribution, and you'd also be helping us improve the podcast with better equipment, but we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. It is the best way for us to grow. That's it. The end. Alright, bye.
Bye.